Prehab audio experience will teach you how to take control of your health through knowledge by optimizing performance, promoting longevity, and keeping your movement system in tune. Welcome to your host, the Prehab Guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prehab audio experience. I'm Raj. Today, I'm joined by Mike and Craig. So all three of us will be on this one today. We're going to be talking about posture. And posture is something that so many people have a misconception of, and it's confusing. I mean, people are told something, and then they're told something else, and they're kind of stuck in this position between what's good posture, what's bad posture. Does posture even matter? If posture matters, how much does it matter? And in what context does it matter? So today what we wanted to do is shed some light in terms of what we think is the truth, where the research is at regarding posture. And so that's kind of what our goal is today. And today is episode number 50, which is crazy because we've been doing this for almost a full year now.
That's crazy to think of.
Yeah, one a week for a year.
That's a lot of my voice that I don't want to hear.
I hate listening to my own podcast. I hate it. I love being a guest on other people's podcasts. I hate talking on our own. I just feel like I'm so bad at it.
It's a lot of podcasts that you're doing that you're not enjoying, Mike.
I enjoy it. I just don't like listening to it because I'm like, shit, it sounds so horrible.
This is my voice. This is what people are listening to. Well, thanks for listening to us, guys.
I want to jump right into that because you mentioned the research thing, and I think that all three of us can agree that the best thing for your posture is to not stay in the exact same position. And we have some research to support that, because if you were to say the word posture to someone and you said, I want you to show me what you think of this word as soon as when I say it. When you say posture, it's sit up tall, shoulder blades back, perfect alignment, pulling your head towards the ceiling, like a military position, a military posture. But in a research study, they actually looked at military cadets maintaining that posture. And they looked at how much neck pain, how much mid-back pain, how much shoulder pain did they deal with. And they actually reported dealing with more pain having to hold that position for long periods of time versus being able to just do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, actually, Mike has a good post that you created way back, Mike, about is your perfect posture hurting you? Because a lot of people are trying to overcompensate for this poor posture that we think of. And so they're really using their extensors and contracting those as hard as they can because they think that if they don't, they're going to fall into this poor position, and that's going to lead to some pain and dysfunction, when in reality, that's actually creating their problems.
Yeah, when it comes to posture, it's so hard to say chicken or the egg. We can't say that just because you had poor posture, you had pain. Like posture and mechanics, biomechanics, that's so important when we're talking about athletic performance. But when it comes to pain, that relationship is just not clear at all. And it's too hard for us to label things and just say, oh, your bad posture is causing your pain. It may be a part of the equation, but just like everything we know in life, even a traumatic ACL tear, we can't just say that, oh, your neuromuscular control is crap. It's that plus maybe fatigue, which maybe not now with some of the newer ACL research, plus maybe their core control, plus they have a Q angle, plus they're female, plus they're younger. There are so many things that go into an injury. It's the same thing with pain. We can't just say it's one thing like posture. Sure, it may be part of the equation, but for us to land vast posture as, this horrible, evil thing that at the moment you slouch, you're going to have pain is just taking it way too far.
Yeah, we've all go for it, Craig.
I was going to say that people forget to relate posture to just how someone feels. Posture can just be, what's the word that I'm looking for? It is a demonstration of how you're feeling mentally, right? Mm-hmm. Like how you're feeling mentally will show physically, where if you're not happy about something, you may cross your arms, you may slouch down and put your head down. Or if you're feeling good about yourself and you're excited, you may perk up, you may push your chest out, and you may have your head looking up. You're smiling. It's that's the word I was looking for. I always feel better when this happens on podcasts when I find the word. But posture is a manifestation of how you're feeling mentally. I feel
Yeah.
good there. I'm going to
It's
stop
a
there.
it's a cycle too, because then if you puff out your chest like that, then you're going to feel better, and when you feel better, you're going to do that more. And on the contrary, it can go the other way around too. And we've always heard like don't slouch, and this idea behind text neck is becoming more and more prevalent in social media, and you'll even see this in articles, big time articles talking about text neck. And all three of us don't put too much stock into just static position. You can see that even with research. You were talking about ACLs, like static Q angle, for example. We're not worried about that. That's just how someone's structurally aligned. It's dynamic knee valgus that we're more concerned about. It's the dynamic motions that we more measure and try to track objectively. Static position is just the position someone likes to be in. And oftentimes you can try to change that. You may or may not change that. But when it comes to posture, what I'm kind of getting at is don't be so hung up on what position you're in for a prolonged period, but more importantly, make sure that you're changing the position that you're in. That's going to matter more than making sure that you find your perfect position and perfect alignment. So that's why actually we've created this posture program, so that way people can understand different positions that you can put your body into, which are the opposite or different from the traditional sitting position.
Yeah, in regards to that program that we recently came out with posture, where, like Arash said, we don't put too much stock in the static positions, where what we really value is movements and reversing positions. So if you've been sitting for long periods of time, your body is eventually going to tell you that, hey, I want to be moved and this position is getting uncomfortable. So you can just literally move however you want, or you can try to reverse that movement to try to even feel better. And your body's craving change. Like when your body speaks to you and you get sensations and you feel tightness or you feel pressure, your body is just sending signals like, hey, move me. And with our program, we show you different positions that you can get into, different exercises that you can do in order to reverse the common positions that we deal with on a daily basis, just due to the human lifestyle and how our jobs are.
Yeah, our bodies react to change. The status quo, like if you think about training, say you are just a normally fit person and you have a somewhat active job and you're used to lifting, I don't know, bags of concrete. You're going to develop some bicep, size, because that's just your job. But if you just do that year after year after year, your bicep's going to meet some level. It's going to be some certain size, and that's going to be the size of your biceps. Probably going to be bigger than the person that doesn't do anything, but that's just going to be your size. But then if you add some extra training stimulus on top of that, then you hit the gym and now you're doing bicep curls with heavier weight, your body will respond to that change with bigger biceps. It's the same thing with postures and movements. If we're always in one certain position for a long time, our body is craving some change. And that's where the reverse posturing that Craig was talking about, all these exercises, most of these exercises they're doing, is we're giving you that opposite change. So if we're talking about being in the quote unquote poor posture, where your shoulders are rounded, your head is forward, your pecs are tight, yes, we're going to work on all the opposite things, but it doesn't have to be, some special reverse posture. It's just the fact that we're strengthening the things to give you that change, to get you out of those positions. It's, it's not a postural thing. It's just changing of a position.
Changing. And it's like, if you sit for a while and you feel some discomfort, people are always concerned about that. That's actually a good thing. Your body's alarm system is letting you know that you need to move. And the problem is that people think they have a problem because they have that discomfort or ache or some type of stiffness they feel in their chest or mid back or up in their neck. But in reality, you've kind of pushed your body past its limits by sitting or putting yourself in one position for too long. So that's why with the program, not only is it these movements that you should be going throughout the day, but there's movement snacks that we've integrated. So that way throughout the day, you're constantly moving with one or two exercises that we have kind of spread out throughout this 6-week period. You're making sure that not only on a daily basis, but on a multi-day basis where you're doing it like 4 or 5 times a day, you're able to stay moving in this position that is opposite to what you're in for that prolonged period of time. Because if not, you're going to lose it. If you don't use a specific range of motion, you're telling your body, hey, I don't need that motion anymore. And so it's going to be restricted in those positions, which you don't want to happen.
Who doesn't love snacks? I think when we heard of that phrase and we started using it, I was like, that is the smartest friggin' thing to educate patients and educate people with, because it totally reframes how someone views movement. Because we're in such a lifestyle now where we're so busy, they have to assume the same position for long periods of time. They're stuck in the chair, they're stuck at a desk, they're stuck in a car, they're stuck on the airplane. They can't move, and they don't want to move because it's inconvenient, because it takes time away from them being productive, in their opinion, to get work done. I mean, I've even treated writers where they told me that literally the company would pay for assistants to ask them what they wanted for food, deliver the food right to their desk, so that they would limit how much they had to move and how often they had to get up.
Productivity.
It's like the convenience of technology and how we're trying to improve productivity is now taking away, making humans more lazy and want to move less. And so when you reframe movement to being something enjoyable, something that doesn't take a long period of time, and that you can just nibble at throughout the day, it's just like, wow, now I feel like I can be productive, and I can just take a quick 2-minute break to do this movement, instead of feeling like I have to dedicate 15 to 20 minutes of my time, make a block in my calendar for it, and I'm going to enjoy it. It's tasty and it feels good.
I gave my mom the program, and then when she got to the movement snack, she was like, wait, what is that? And I explained it to her. She was, oh, that makes sense. It's like a snack. Like, that totally makes sense with that name.
Yeah.
We kind of got it. So like, okay, I'm just going to do it throughout the day. And it's funny, like our society, with all the technology that we have, we all quote unquote pride ourselves on being multitaskers, when that's actually the detriment of productivity. Like, if you're trying to work and eat at the same time, you're actually going to be way less productive than just working, taking a 10-minute break to eat, and then going back to working. It's the same things with these movement snacks. And the culture in the work environment, where you should be encouraging your employees, your staff, to have that 5-minute break to move, get some water, go talk to someone, because they're going to be more productive in the other 55 minutes that they're working than just expecting them to blaze for 60 minutes straight, hour upon hour upon hour.
That reminds me of PT school, and people would be studying on the treadmill or on the elliptical, just trying to study while working out. Focus on one thing, go 100% in, and then focus on the other task.
I remember that. So everyone on the treadmills and ellipticals with notes out, I'm just like, can you really? Your head's bouncing up and down. Can you really read?
In the gym, I think it's one thing if you have a nice little setup at your office and you're very gradually slow walking, but it boggled my mind when people would try to bring in their iPad into the gym and they're trying to study in the cardio section.
I'm trying to think who it was. Someone in our class, I remember, broke their iPad because they brought it to the gym. I was trying to think of who it was now, but I remember someone broke their iPad.
So, I'm not surprised at all. That's what you get for multitasking. Focus on one thing at a time.
The master skill of the 21st century is single tasking.
Yeah, that's very true in such a busy world. Cool. So to wrap this up, basically, what we're kind of getting at here is, with posture, there's not one perfect position. Learn your body. Everyone is structurally different as well. If someone is naturally more kyphotic, that's okay structurally. Maybe they're an advantage to certain things like reaching and grabbing something in front of them, maybe a disadvantage to reaching something behind them because they're in this more kyphotic position. There's some things we can and can't change with structure. So with static positioning, we don't put too much stock there, but really when it comes down to feeling good and making sure you don't have this postural pain, you got to stay moving. Our posture program does take you through a 6-week progression of movements, in addition to a lot of educational pieces on different positions that you can be in. Trust us, we have standing desks, we do half kneel, we do all kinds of different positioning when we do work. And more importantly than that is actually to take breaks and making sure that you're not just staying in one position. So we kind of break it down from an educational standpoint. We'll put the link in the show notes for you guys to check out and learn more about posture if that's what you guys are interested in.
Yeah, we get it. And the three of us, we work from home. We sit at a computer, we stand at a computer, we'll kneel at a computer, we'll travel the courses. Like, we totally get it. We're not on the opposite side of the fence trying to convince you how you need to do all these things. And we're not just talking the talk, we walk it too. So you can make time for it. Right now I'm sitting and my butt's like, get off of it. It's time to stand. I'm going to stand. That actually feels good. And it's just those small things that go a long way. Is like Arash said, there's a ton of education that once you understand and you're more informed, there's going to be way less worry. So definitely check out the program.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Please do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe this podcast. If you like it, leave us a review. Let us know what it is that you guys may want to have us talk more about. We've been doing more of these podcasts where we're talking versus just having guests on. So let us know what you guys want to hear more about. Thanks again.
And remember, your next posture is your best posture.
Mic drop.